Welcome to Weekly News Highlights, where we wrap up your week with a glimpse back into what went on in the past week. I'm Kim Dami in Seoul. South Korea was under a blistering extreme heat wave this entire week, putting many people through challenging times both day and night because of the heat. And it wasn't just here. The entire globe has been seeing scorching heat. The 2023 World Scout Jamboree is well underway in South Korea's Saemangeum on its biggest scale ever. Over 43,000 participants from all around the world have gathered at the Jamboree campground to celebrate their friendship. Rising K-pop girl group Newjeans this week topped the Billboard 200 chart with its newest album, Get Up. They're the second K-pop girl group to make the top of the chart after BLACKPINK. It's gotten so hot this week that the country's disaster headquarters activated its Level 2 emergency operation, now for the first time due to a heat wave. Over $4.6 billion have been newly allocated to help with heat-related issues. Now, this follows the first stage operation of its disaster countermeasure headquarters earlier this week. The heat wave alert was also raised to the highest level, serious. Let's first turn to our Lee Si-hoo.
South Korea's Ministry of the Interior and Safety activated the first stage operation of its Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasure headquarters on Tuesday evening. It also raised its heat wave alert level to serious, the highest level above attention, caution, and alert for the first time since 2019. The level serious is issued when the highest feels-like temperature of the day is forecast to reach 35 degrees Celsius for 3 days or more in over 40% of nationwide weather report districts, or when the temperature is expected to hit 38 degrees Celsius in 10% of the weather districts. Previously, the level alert had been issued on July 1st. The Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasure Headquarters has ordered related ministries and regional administrations to take special care of those who work outdoors, such as farmers or construction workers, as well as the elderly. The headquarters also asked them to come up with measures to prevent damage to fishing and farming industries and manage public infrastructure like roads and railroads. Meanwhile, the nation is experiencing what's called tropical nights, with sweltering heat making it difficult to sleep. Tropical nights are when the lowest temperature overnight is 25 degrees Celsius or above. In the midst of these heat waves without a respite, experts explain that it's important to minimize heat exposure.
It's not just about the absolute temperature, but also about how long for and where you're exposed to the heat. Even at the same temperature, the risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion cranks up if you're exposed to the heat for a long time or working in a confined, humid environment.
To prevent heat-related illnesses, it's necessary to stay hydrated and be aware of one's own body condition. Dizziness, nausea, and headaches are common symptoms of heat-related illnesses. Move to a cool place if you feel unwell, and don't hesitate to reach out for help or see a doctor. Lee Si-hoo, Arirang News.
And farmers especially are going through difficult times with their crops getting hammered by the heat. Now, it's even worse that they also have a much expected typhoon season to worry about. Our Shin Se-byuk reports.
Eggplants scattered all over the ground. These vegetables have withered under the high temperatures that have gripped South Korea. Farmers try to shield them from the heat, but it barely helps. The intense heat has caused the eggplants to lose their natural color, which impacts their quality and how many a farmer can sell. This year's yield is only 60% of what it was last year. And of those, 7 out of 10 boxes contain lower quality produce. It's been a double whammy for the farmers, as the damage has only worsened after the monsoon season.
This year, extreme heat came right after the heavy rain, leaving the eggplants struggling to adapt and grow properly.
Soybeans are also feeling the impact. The same farmer has had to plant soybeans 5 times this year, much more than usual, and most of them have wilted early. Even those that managed to grow cannot fully ripen, falling victim to the relentless heat. It's not just the crops and vegetables that are struggling. Cattle are finding it tough to cope with the sweltering conditions. Farmers are trying to keep their cattle cool by running air conditioning units non-stop.
With this scorching weather, you can see a significant drop in the cattle's appetite. And it's not just that. It's also noticeably affecting their fertility rates.
Such extreme heat is deadly for farm animals. Exposure to extreme temperatures could result in heat stress and eventually death. According to the Ministry of the Interior and Safety, as of August 1st, over 150,000 farm animals have died due to the heatwave this summer.
The fully fledged typhoon season is expected soon, adding to the farmers' worries. Authorities fear that the damage will escalate, and so farmers are bracing themselves for what's to come. Shin Se-byuk, Arirang News.
In fact, people all around the world are feeling the heat, with 80% of the global population experiencing higher than normal temperatures last month. Lee Seung-jae has more.
It's the middle of the day in Iran, yet banks and shops in downtown areas are closed. It's unusual to see these places closed at a time when there's usually a sizable volume of foot traffic. However, with Iran seeing record-breaking temperatures this week, the government declared a two-day shutdown due to health concerns as the intense heat wave in the Middle Eastern nation saw temperatures rise past 50 degrees Celsius.
I have never experienced such heat in Tehran. I have experienced it in the south of Iran when I was there for a while.
The Americas are also experiencing a brutal summer. The Argentine capital, Buenos Aires, is seeing temperatures 5 degrees Celsius higher than temperatures normally experienced at this time of the year. Over in the U.S. state of Arizona, the region saw a month of temperatures reaching 43 degrees Celsius. Even the cactus, known for resilience against the heat, have been withering away due to the intense weather. And in Greece, too, where tourism has been hit hard due to wildfires caused by the heat wave, a decision has been made to compensate vacationers who are impacted by the mass evacuations there. According to climate change watchdog Climate Central, 4 out of 5 people on the planet had a hotter July, and it says climate change is the main reason for the global heat wave. And global warming will also damage the economy, according to economists. International credit rating agency Moody's predicted that the increase in temperature due to continuous heat waves could shrink global GDP by 17.6% by 2100. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
South Korea's west coast of Saemangeum has been bustling all this week, with thousands of people from all around the world gathering to participate in the 25th World Scout Jamboree. Now, for more on this world's largest camping festival, we're joined by our Choi Soo-hyung. Welcome back, Soo-hyung.
Good to be here again, Dami.
And also, welcome back from Saemangeum.
Thank you.
So, like I mentioned, this is the 25th edition already, but this is not the first time that South Korea is hosting the event, right?
Yes, Dami, this event is back in Korea after 32 years. The country hosted the 1991 edition in Goseong-gun County, Gangwon-do Province. It's the biggest camping festival for young people. This year's began on Tuesday, August 1st at Saemangeum in Busan-gun County in South Korea's Jeollabuk-do Province and will run until August 12th. Almost 43,000 scouts from 158 countries have gathered, sharing true friendships that will bridge racial, religious, and cultural divides. Most of the scouts are looking to experience something new and network with new friends. Let's take a listen to what the scouts expected the most.
Well, I mostly expect to meet new people, meet internationally new people, get a new network.
Get a lot of new friends from all around the world and experience lots of new stuff here.
So other than mingling with one another and celebrating their friendship, what are they exactly doing at the campground?
Yes, Dami. First, Scout was created to promote physical and mental health among young people. Through various activities, teenagers can learn how to overcome difficulties and develop social skills through adventure. Even though the extreme weather conditions have interrupted things a bit this year, the Scouts have cherished their camping experience and found joy in survival challenges, teamwork, and leisure sports. This summer's intense monsoon here in Korea flooded in Saemangeum reclamation site just before the opening. But the Scouts managed to create their accommodation by laying down plastic pallets and pitching their tents on top. The Scouts' passion for the Jamboree remains undiminished. I asked one from Ecuador why he became Scout.
I become a scout because my family and my sister tell me that Scouts is a very beautiful place to be. It's a very sensational experience.
And you know, the opening ceremony took the center stage on day 2 of the 12-day event, right? How was that?
Well, Dami, let me tell you, it was splendid. The opening ceremony took place at 8 p.m. Korea time on Wednesday, the second day of the Jamboree. Dream Orchestra, composed of Korean Scout members, started with a live performance. After that, the Scouts formed the Guard of Honor and the flag bearers from attending countries made their entrance. Some celebrities also greeted Scouts, survivor expert Bear Grylls, K-pop artists, and even South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol attended. In his speech, he wished the friendships that have been nurtured here in Saemangeum to remain together forever.
So-hyung, you mentioned 43,000 people from 160, nearly, countries have gathered, right?
Right.
Let's talk more about the participants themselves.
Yes, Dami, I met a team of 3 French cyclists last cycle this year. They planned an 8-month journey to cover the long journey passing through Europe, the Caucasus Mountains, Central Asia, and the Silk Road. It was a 14,000-kilometer journey from Paris. They arrived at Saemangeum to deliver messages about dreams. This is the team leader Florian's message to the Scouts worldwide.
So the theme of the Jamboree is Draw Your Dream, and our dream was to make this big challenge to go from a part of the world to the other part. We crossed half of the world, I think, to come here, and it was such an adventure, such an exploration, and we want to say to the Scouts in the Jamboree, be explorers and have big dream.
One of the members, 22-year-old Antonin, said he started in the Scouts when he was 8 years old, and living as a Scout member feels very natural to him. Moreover, the team said that they chose to ride all the way there to raise awareness about the climate crisis issues.
Wow, their passion and enthusiasm are real.
Indeed.
Now, unfortunately, the extreme heat wave nationwide was inevitable down in Saemangeum, right? Now, so hot that the fun was cut off short at the festival.
Well, Dami, even before the venue was opened in Saemangeum, there were some concerns about the heat-related matters. Despite the positive vibes, over 700 people at the venue were treated for heat-related illness, bug bites and sunburn until Thursday morning. Saemangeum Jamboree Camping Ground is a reclamation site, 8.84 square kilometers in total, which is 2.5 times the size of the Central Park in New York. As there's not enough shade, the organizers' measures aim to help the attendees escape the heat. Artificial shade shelters, approximately 1,700 of them, along with vine-covered pedestrian paths and fogging facilities have been installed. Additionally, there are 6 heat wave shelters in nearby indoor sports arenas and parks, accommodating over 50,000 people during the extreme heat when Jamboree activities are unsafe. The South Korean government on Friday decided to increase the electrical supply capacity and supply ice-cold water. It will also install cooling tanks and run more buses.
Hopefully, these will help the participants cool off a bit.
Yes, I hope the young Scouts will finish their adventure in Saemangeum safely.
All right, So-hyung, thank you for sharing your Jamboree wrap-up today.
My pleasure.
South Korean girl group Newjeans this week scored its first #1 album on the Billboard 200 with its second extended play, Get Up, with all 3 of the songs from that album making the main singles chart. Now, that's never been achieved by any other K-pop girl group before. Moon Hae-ryun tells us more.
K-pop girl group Newjeans is rewriting K-pop history by sweeping through charts despite only having debuted last year. The group's second extended play album, Get Up, topped the Billboard 200 chart on Wednesday local time. The album's 3 title songs, Super Shy, ETA, and Cool With You, all ranked on the Billboard Hot 100 chart too, coming in at 48th, 81st, and 93rd place respectively. While BLACKPINK were the first K-pop girl group to top the Billboard 200 chart with their Born Pink album, Newjeans is the first K-pop girl group to have 3 songs on the US-based Billboard Hot 100 chart at the same time. The only other K-pop artist to achieve this feat was BTS. The Billboard 200 chart ranks the most popular albums of the week in the United States based on album units sold and also converts online streaming and download figures into equivalent album units. It's therefore a chart that reflects the strength of the fandom, which buys the different collectible versions of the albums, while the Billboard Hot 100 chart is based on streaming activity, making it more reflective of what's hot among listeners in general across the United States. Newjeans has also shown excellent performance in online streaming, with its label revealing that the group had reached over 2 billion streams on the world's biggest music streaming platform, Spotify. The girl group broke the Guinness World Record for the fastest K-pop act to hit over 1 billion Spotify streams earlier this year in March, passing the benchmark in 219 days. Experts attributed the group's success to their trendiness and marketing strategy. The Get Up album draws on the current Y2K trend, inspired by UK garage and Jersey club beats, which has been on the rise globally. Its collaborations with brands such as Apple and media franchise The Powerpuff Girls has further boosted Newjeans' trendy image. By also choosing to pre-release its songs one by one with each individual track having its own music video, experts say that it helped to not only create an anticipatory buzz, but also reinforce the idea that all the songs on the album are worth listening to. As of Thursday, the album's 6 official music videos have over 101 million views on YouTube combined. 문혜련, Arirang News.
South Korea aims to become one of the top 4 content giants in the world by 2027. After placing itself on top 4 dramas and pop music, the next ambition is the webtoon industry. Shin Se-byuk reports.
The K-content industry has emerged as a major export powerhouse in South Korea, with Korean dramas and movies finding great success abroad. The country is now seeking to become one of the world's top 4 content giants by 2027. As part of these efforts, the government is now shifting its focus to the potential of webtoons. Data from the Korea Creative Content Agency shows the value of K-content exports reached over $13.3 billion in 2022. Cartoons accounted for only 0.8% of that amount. However, the cartoon sector saw remarkable growth with a 30% on-year increase, making it one of the top 3 fastest-growing segments in the content industry. An expert says what makes webtoons particularly significant is their use as source material for various screen adaptations.
In the past, novels and comics served as the foundation for a variety of cultural content. Nowadays, webtoons and web novels, which captivate the younger generation, have taken on the role. And now, these are being exported worldwide.
To foster the webtoon industry further, the Seoul metropolitan government has launched educational initiatives to nurture webtoon creators and producers.
The core strength of K-content lies in the creativity of its creators. Nurturing that creativity requires providing them with the right talents and a platform to unleash their creative potential.
Through these courses, students have the opportunity to develop their competitiveness as webtoon creators.
I received valuable feedback and advice from many mentors, which helped me objectively assess my skills.
The classes taught me how to direct webtoons, understand illustrations better, and create trendier comics.
South Korea's well-established web environment also allows it to create more engaging content than other countries.
South Korea's highly digitalized environment further facilitates collaboration between creators.
However, he also expressed concerns about potential diplomatic issues that may arise when exporting webtoons or K-content, as some content could touch on sensitive topics. To that end, the expert said the government has to take on a role beyond just providing financial support, acting as a mediator to address these issues. Shin Se-byuk, Arirang News.
Many women in South Korea face years-long career breaks following marriage and giving birth. But there still are ways for them to go back to life and find a work-life balance. Our Lee Soo-jin has the story.
Women in South Korea who have been on long career breaks are determined to rejoin the workforce. But many, such as Pee Jin-won, have trouble figuring out how to do so. partly because of the changes that occurred during their time away.
Back when I first started working, most of the stuff was done manually. But when I came back, everything was computerized.
Women's participation in the workforce shows an M-shaped curve, meaning that the percentage employed plunges for women in their 30s. And the average time that it takes for those women to find employment again has increased from 7.9 years in 2019 to 8.9 years in 2022. So how can these women return to work sooner rather than later? Women like Pi Jin-won are turning to job training centers dedicated to shortening women's career breaks. This government-sponsored center in Seoul is just one of 18 that offers various job training for women. Pi, who has taken several classes at her local job training center, hopes to start an online business.
I want to feel accomplished by contributing to society before I get any older.
Classes that help women earn babysitting and barista certificates, as well as ones that teach them how to start online businesses, are just some of the options available. Cho Eun-rae successfully launched her own business after taking classes at one of these centers. Cho had a decade-long career gap before she started her own publishing company. She turns children's artwork and stories into books and publishes them so they can be sold at Kobo Books, the nation's biggest book chain.
Children can see that their work has economic value as they can earn copyright fees from having their books sold.
She says that one of the biggest perks of running her own company is that it allows her to have autonomy over her work hours. She typically works while her children are at school, and when they come home, she spends time with them and helps them with their homework. Working from home not only saves her on rent, but makes it easier for her to do everyday tasks, such as making snacks for her kid. And her favorite time of the day is when she gets to sit down and spend quality time with her son. She says that her goal is to one day hire other women like her.
I want to have a business that creates employment.
She also hopes that more women get the courage and opportunity to start their own companies. But starting their own business isn't the only option available to these women who want to return to work. There are areas that are facing severe workforce shortages, such as in the STEM fields. Other institutions connect women on career breaks to positions in science fields and fund their research. One woman who successfully returned to work as a senior researcher through one such institution is Yang Seung-ho.
I've been able to publish SCI-grade journals and do government research. I also have colleagues that have been a huge source of strength.
The president of the institution that helped Yang rejoin the workforce as a senior researcher told us these women could help mitigate the STEM workforce shortage.
There's expected to be a shortage of 47,000 science and technology professionals by 2028, but there are currently about 190,000 women in the science field who are experiencing career interruptions.
She says that there is still much that can be done to shorten women's career breaks.
We need to up the effectiveness and usage of parental leave programs and encourage more men to take parental leave.
She said that it's crucial for these women to be actively supported not just by these institutions, but by their families. A greater awareness of the ways these women can contribute once they return to the workforce, along with the support to help them do so, will ultimately benefit the economy and society as a whole. 이수진, Arirang News.
We thank you for watching Weekly News Highlights. Enjoy your weekend and stay cool.